The church has replaced Israel. End-time prophecy was fulfilled in history. Jesus' return isn't literal.
There is a lot of confusion as to what replacement theology actually is, so I have to make this video, and I didn't know it was this much confusion initially. First, any attempt to say that Jesus has come already is false. Preterists and replacement theologians, I'm looking at you. Let me first tell you what replacement theology is not. Replacement theology is not simply saying that the church gets the same benefits as the Jews. There is neither Jew nor Greek, male or female, the primary scripture that people use, as well as a few others. Simply saying that New Covenant believers that we get the same promises that the Jews got, that's not replacement theology. I rarely use got questions, but I figured that it may help some of you instead of hearing, something that I wrote. What is replacement theology or fulfillment theology? Replacement theology, also known as supersessionism or fulfillment theology, essentially teaches that the church has replaced, not grafted in, but replaced Israel in God's plan. Those of replacement theology believe that the Jews are no longer God's chosen people, and that God does not have specific future plans for the nation of Israel. Among the different views of the relationship between the church and Israel are the church has replaced Israel. Replacement theology, like that's literally what it's called. So it's not just a new word that's just been created, it's literally called that. Of course, you have the other views as the church is completely different and distinct from Israel, and the church is an expansion of Israel. Replacement theology teaches that the church is the replacement for Israel, and that many of the promises made to Israel in the Bible are fulfilled in the Christian church, not in Israel. The prophecies in scripture concerning the blessing or restoration of Israel to the promised land are spiritualized or made into an allegory in the promises of God and blessing for the church. Major problems exist with this view because, of course, the existence of the Jewish people throughout the centuries, and especially with the revival of the modern state of Israel. If Israel has been condemned by God, major problems exist with this view, such as the continuing existence of the Jewish people throughout the centuries, especially with the revival of the modern state of Israel. If Israel has been condemned by God and there is no future for the Jewish nation, how do we explain the supernatural survival of the Jewish people over the past 2,000 years, despite the many attempts to destroy them? How do we explain why and how Israel reappeared as a nation in the 20th century after not existing for 1900 years? The view that Israel and the church are different is clearly taught in the New Testament. Biblically speaking, the church is distinct from Israel, and the terms church and Israel are never to be confused or used interchangeably. You could pause and read the rest. So no, replacement theology is not something new. It's been here. Now, the deadline is days away. For those of you that struggle understanding with what God has called you to, we're sending out a 3-day class on this subject. How God uses dreams and visions to confirm your call, a biblical view of deja vu, and more. Click the link in my story or bio to join.